A snowy night in Utica. Night in Utica. Hey, the Comets return home to open up the 2025 portion of their schedule with back-to-back games at the Adirondack Bank Center this weekend. And that's where we find Sports Director Spencer Davidson joining us to get us ready for the 2025 debut of Sports Express tonight. Spencer, good evening.
Yeah, hey there, Jason. Good evening, everyone. The Comets closed out 2024 with an overtime win against Belleville on Tuesday, which ended the calendar year on a high note on what was otherwise a very difficult year for the Comets. The Comets will actually host Belleville here tomorrow night for another edition of Hockey Night in Utica. But here tonight, the Comets get the 2025 slate underway against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Now, coming up tonight at 6, I will have more on this matchup with you. On this matchup coming up tonight against the Phantoms, but we do have a full slate of Sports Express for you tonight. It is the 2025 debut of Sports Express as we return from the holiday hiatus. So let's take you through what you can expect to see tonight at 11. Staying on.
All right, Spencer, thank you. A consumer alert in the
welcome to the first Sports Express of 2025. Now, I don't have any noisemakers or confetti. Party City's closing down, so I didn't get any of those supplies.
Sounds like you dropped the ball.
I did drop the ball. There you go. We are excited to be back from our holiday hiatus, however, though.
Yeah, and despite the frosty weather outside, which kind of wiped out a lot of tonight's slate, we still have plenty of local action to warm you up as we ring in that new year.
Yeah, it's one of those days where you go inside a hockey rink to escape the cold. One of those few days, right? Maybe not here. A couple of thousand fans who were able to shovel out of their driveway did just that tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center. It's Hockey Night in Utica. And these new digital dasher boards are quite the sight. The Comets opening up the 2025 portion of their schedule, looking for their second straight win after closing out 2024 with an overtime victory over Belleville. Tonight, the team hosted the Lehigh Valley Phantoms for the second meeting of the year between these teams. The Phantoms won the first in OT at home in November, but Utica starts this one off strong. Adam Beckman with the takeaway at the blue line and snaps it off the post and in from the high slot. The first shot of the game gets the Comets on the board and up by 1. Later in the frame, Utica on a power play and looking for more. Brian Hallinan gets free and comes in all alone, but this time Cal Peterson is able to steer it aside as he just gets a piece of it with the blocker arm to keep it a 1-goal game. At the other end, Comets netminder Isaac Poulter solid in the first period as well. After a funny bounce here, Poulter able to get across and shut the door on Elliot Denoye. Some chaos at the top of the crease, but Poulter covers it up and hangs on to end play. He had 19 saves on the night. Second period, right off the opening faceoff, Comets with a big chance. Ryan Schmelzer gets behind the Phantoms D, but can't get it past Peterson. Utica would get a power play as a result of that rush, but couldn't convert. Right after killing off the penalty, Lehigh Valley gained some momentum. Brendan Fury feeds Rodrigo Abols, who unloads off the pipe and in on the one-timer, and the Phantoms knot the game up at 1. Just 26 seconds later, Lehigh Valley right back on the attack. This time, Abols facilitating, finds Alexi Gendron, who rings this one off the bar for an absolute snipe. These posts taking a beating in this one, but just like that, the Phantoms grab a 2-1 lead. So now the Comets playing from behind, but respond just over 3 minutes later. It's Pius Villen from the point, redirected by Schmelzer, and the captain pulls Utica back even at 2-2. It stayed that way until the third, when shortly before the midway point, John Randall Avon beats Poulter with the quick release off the feed from Massimo Rizzo. Adam Ginning would then add an empty netter in the final minute of play. As the Phantoms go on to take this one 4-2, the Comets drop their fourth in the past 5 games and look to regroup tomorrow night as they'll host the Senators, whom they did beat in overtime on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, over at the Whitestown Community Center, the Warriors hosting the Comets of Clinton, looking to get above 500 on the season. First period action, Comets goalie Garrett Bauer does a nice job here stopping the Warrior offensive. Later, though, in the first, freshman Dominic Nucci is going to rip his shot in net, and that's going to net him his first varsity goal of his career, with Whitesboro putting the Warriors up 1-0 with under 8 to play in the first. Later in that first period, Warriors goalie Mason Stanton's going to snag the Comet shot, keeps points off the board. And then here's Stanton with another great stop here, keeping it a 1-0 game after 1. In the second, though, Warriors on the attack. Another nice nab here from Bauer. But a little later on, remember how we told you about Nucci? Here he is on the break, looking determined. And how about goal number 2 of his varsity career right here? What a night for the young man. Clinton would get on the board later in the second. You'll see it in a minute. Near the crease, Colton Babowski coming up big right there. But the Warriors hang on to take this one 4-2. They improved to 5-4-1 on the season.
Well, the Hamilton Continental's women's hockey team at